With all things like this, it's a generalization, it's oversimplistic, because you can't sum up something that's so complex as an education system in just one diagram. It just doesn't do it. But there perhaps are some main trends that you might say, yes, this is true or not. So education now, what we have generally in the world is we have a schools culture which I would call standards-based and outcome-focused. So you have lots of examinations. In England, we have more examinations than any other country in the world, which always amazes me. If you go to Iceland, they have 1 or 2 examinations, and other countries likewise, but we don't. We don't trust. There's a lack of trust in the system. So we have things like Ofsted looking over teachers' shoulders to make sure. You know, Tim Brighouse and a number of us many years ago, I think it was called OSIA. Do you remember OSIA? It was looking at schools in partnership together. And that worked really well because head teachers are critical. They will tell each other how they see it honestly, but no, those sort of systems were thought to be too, oh, the profession will just put a blanket over things and won't be truthful. So they brought in Ofsted and other things, and league tables as well, you know, and the model of education being one based on finance, which it's not at all. So that's general. The school culture. Many individual schools vary from that. So that's a generalization of the system rather than a discussion of individual schools. Now, within that, you have a curriculum, which is generally academic plus, you know, PE and other things that go on, but generally it's an academic. Since 2014, with Gove's revision of the national curriculum, you have much more focus on aspects of literacy, for instance, and far more prescription than we have ever had in the original national curriculum. So that's what we've got. So the focus is, generally speaking, on subjects, isolated skills, knowledge, and concepts. If you go back to 1800, an educated person could actually know about most things. And then we had so much knowledge coming along that people started to specialize. And so you can have in a room people that are highly educated on their aspect, but haven't got a clue about someone else's aspect. So it's an interesting question. What is an educated person now? But at the moment, we have this focus on subjects and people pass exams. Now, there is another aspect about learning about us. So as a FOP to people like me, SMSC, PSHE, under all sorts of names, they gave us some of that. And that's this little bit that I put in here, this focus on the human being. It's generally not examined. Students aren't led to believe it's really important, although I'll say at the moment, students are beginning to revolt, as we've seen with the climate issues. Secondary school children are beginning to demand that they know much more about what it means to be a human being. So as a generalization, that is what I see now.